Welcome to Charger Wrestling Coach's Corner technique video. Today we have two of our seniors showing technique for us today. On the right we have Brody Schmidt, who's a state entrant for us at 138 pounds, and on the left we have Gavin Gilman, who is a two-time state entrant for us at 152 and 160. We're going to have the guys start out with a good stance, starting a good square stance. Okay, feet are about shoulder width apart. Elbows are in and down, and we're going to check our height. If our hands can touch the mat, we're good. If our hands cannot touch the mat, we're in a bad stance. Okay, if we stand up a little too tall and we try and touch the mat and we can't get there, that's not a good stance. Okay, we got to get down to a level where we can touch the mat. Okay, we're going to start moving to the right and to the left. Whatever direction we're going, that foot is the foot that's going to lead us. If we're changing direction, going the other way, that foot's going to lead us. Okay, just simple stance and motion. This is a good square stance. Now we're going to move into a staggered stance. Our front foot is going to be a lead foot, and our back foot is going to be turned out to the side a little bit. And now we're going to move, keeping that one leg in front. For most of us, we're right hand dominant, so our right hand is down, our right foot is forward, okay, and we're moving. So we're moving in a good staggered stance. Moving left. Here we're into our good staggered stance, and we're moving. Okay, we're moving forward, we're circling right, we're circling left. Notice that our hands are in front. Our hands are protecting our lead leg. We're taking short, choppy steps as we move. Okay, we're not bouncing up and down. We're not moving our head up and down. Our head is staying pretty constant on a good level. All right, we're now going to talk about a down block. We're going to talk about defense. First part of our defense we call as a down block, or some guys call it blocking down. Gavin gets in a good stance, and what he's going to do is he's going to take his lead hand. Go ahead and shake your lead hand, and that lead hand is going to replace his foot. Okay? Once his feet now make contact with the mat, he's going to start to circle. As he keeps down blocking for us, side view, there we go, down block. You'll notice that his head also comes down with his hand. It's almost like there's a string tying his hand to his head. As the hand comes down, the head comes down. All right, we're now going to look at our second type of defense. Down block is one of them, sprawl is the other. Sprawl, Brody's in a good stance, staggered stance. In his sprawl, we like to teach it like a race. How quickly can he get his belt buckle to the mat? So Brody's going to go ahead and kick both legs out and get his belt buckle to the mat. Notice he's got hands up, big chest, looking up, okay, and he has laces in the mat. If Brody gets back up into his stance and shows us his back, okay, as he sprawls here, notice how the laces are in the mat, not digging his toes in. If we dig our toes in the mat, our opponent will push into us and drive us up to our feet and score. So Brody's going to do a little motion here, and he's going to sprawl. After his sprawl, he works up into, circling up into a good stance. Okay, he can circle up either direction out of a good squared sprawl. Again, notice that it's his belt buckle hitting the mat, not his knees. Okay, if you land on your knees, your opponent can get underneath you and drive. We are now going to get Brody in a staggered stance. In his staggered stance, his opponent's going to shoot on his lead leg, and we're going to sprawl that lead leg back. As he sprawls his lead leg back, it limits our option on which direction we can circle. It only really gives us one direction to circle, but he's moving. and he is going to sprawl that lead leg back and circle up into a good stance. All right, we are now going to get into our attacks. As we get into our attacks, we have Gavin in a good stance. We're going to attack either our high crotch or our double. We have our lead leg. Our feet are set to shoot, and we're going to drive, pushing off of our back leg and going with a heel, toe, knee. Here is our most important part. Once we get to our knee, our trail leg has to drive up and post hard. Once that trail leg drives and posts hard, we're almost driving straight sideways. As we push off that outside leg sideways, we're turning our corner. That's the terminology we use. We turn the corner. So heel, toe, knee, posts, and we turn the corner. So I'll have Gavin hit a couple of high crotch doubles, go in each direction, a couple forward at the camera, a couple with his back to the camera. You notice how once he posts, it's a very short time frame from his post and change direction. Let's get a couple going sideways, kind of right to left. All right, as we continue to hit a few high crotch or doubles and rundowns, we'll show Gavin shooting them from the side view here. Okay, heel, toe, knee, and run. That's the most important part as far as finishing your takedown is posting and running. We'll hit one more there as well. All right, we're back to Brody Schmidt, and we're going to start working on our singles. First single we're going to show is what we call a sweep single. Brody's going to tie up with his opponent, and he is going to take a jab step with his drive foot. And as he takes that jab step with his drive foot, he's changing his level, and then he's driving forward to his front knee or his attack knee. He's going to sweep to the outside of his opponent. So he takes his jab step and level changes, and he's hitting a sweep single. Let's hit a couple more facing the camera. Notice that both hands are going down. Notice that his level is changing going down. Let's hit a couple 2-3 with his back to the camera. Jab step with the left foot. Pull to the sweep single with the right foot. When we put an opponent in front of him, we'll drive up to our feet. All right, now let's hit a couple of sideways. Facing to the right. And one more facing right, and then we'll hit a couple to the left. All right, as we move into the next phase of our wrestling on the feet, we have to make contact, we have to stalk and engage our opponent. We're going to have Gavin and Brody get in a good stance. As they're in a good stance, their first thing they're going to do is they're going to check their height. Okay, their lead leg hand is protecting the lead leg. Their back hand is checking their height. Now, if they're in a bad stance and they're up, that hand will not come anywhere near touching the mat. If they get in a good stance, a good staggered stance, that hand can touch the mat. As they make their way into their opponent, that is the hand that is going to make contact first, okay? The reason we make contact first with that hand, if we have the guys break, and if Brody makes contact with the wrong hand, the lead leg hand, that close leg is easy for Gavin to post and shoot on, okay? If you're going to lead a leg, you need to protect the leg. You need to be able to down block sprawl. So when you make contact, you want to make contact with your non-lead leg hand. Once you've made contact with one hand, you can go ahead and have that second hand make contact. And we're going to fight for what we call inside control. Okay? Both guys are fighting to get inside position. Notice that they're not just resting their hand on their opponent's head. Okay, they're fighting for an inside tie on the tricep, and they're posting on a shoulder. As we start with our inside tie, we're going to have Gavin get to his inside tie. He's going to go ahead and pull down on that tricep, and as he circles around, showing us his other side, he's going to post with that lead leg hand. He's got a thumb block right in the collar. He could also, if he's not going to thumb block and post, he can go ahead and attack a wrist. Notice that he's thumb down on the wrist. Okay, he's not grabbing on the outside. If Gavin grabs on the outside, okay, Brody can get his hand in closer to his leg. When you got a thumb block, you have more inside control. So here's a good spot to be. Our thumb block helps us roll into an underhook. It helps us attack the near leg. But we're just going to move our opponent in this position. All right, break. We're now going to have Brody fight, get inside control, and move Gavin. Same drill, same position. Leads with the proper hand, fights for an inside control, and he's pushing with one hand. He's pulling with the other hand. Next drill, we're going to work on, we call it a steering wheel drill. Gavin's going to go ahead and stalk. From here, he's going to fight his inside tie. Now his collar hand is going to start to pull down on Brody's head, and he's going to take small steps circling to that direction. And now he's going to go ahead and change direction. The hand that's on the tricep comes up to the head. The hand that's on the head comes up to the tricep. And now we're going to switch direction. This is more Gavin pulling him with his abs and his chest than he's pulling him with his arms. Yes, his arms are the ones that are making contact, but it's more his ab and his chest that's pulling him. Okay? Now, if Gavin does the same drill without a partner, Brody's out of the picture, Gavin imaginary ties up, he's going to start to steering wheel. He's going to start to turn him in one direction. Now his hands are going to switch. He's going to turn him in the other direction. Okay, small steps as he's moving his opponent, getting his opponent out of position. When his opponent is out of position, he can score. All right, Brody hop in. Brody's going to run the steering wheel drill. This is a warm-up drill we do. In between, me may give him a little bit of push forward. Then we turn him. Little push forward, change direction. We're trying to set up angles to attack. We're trying to get our opponent out of position so we're able to attack. Now we're going to move into how we use our setups and our attacks. We'll start out with our high crotch. If the guys back away, they kind of do their heel, toe, knee penetration step. Brody kind of starts, heel, toe, knee, penetration step, posts that outside leg and drive. Gavin, heel, toe, knee, posts that outside step and drive. Okay? We're taking that idea and we're taking our hand fighting idea and we're going to combine them together to get our takedown. So let's start with Gavin's going to fight for an inside tie. Once he gets his inside tie, okay, his post hand is going to club him in the head. As he clubs him in the head, he changes level coming down. Brody starts to react and pull himself back up, and that's when Gavin takes his step and takes his shot. Okay, back up on our feet. Okay, we're going nice and slow. Gavin's in a good staggered stance. He's got his inside tie. He head pounds. He changes his level down as he pounds the head, and off of Brody's reaction, that's when we shoot. And again, you look at our position right there, we've turned the corner. Two hands on one leg, turn the corner, and we're now going to drive our way up to our feet. And we're going to finish our high crotch all the way down to the mat. Okay? Let's have Brody hit one or two. We'll trade these. Head pound to a high crotch. Notice how they're pausing for just a second so we can see us turning the corner. We would normally not do that in an actual match. We don't stop and pause. We just keep going. But we're going to show that we're turning the corner. Okay, now let's just go ahead and trade in 2 each. Gavin, then Brody, then Gavin, then Brody. Okay, 1 more each. Notice that their feet are always set, ready to shoot. And as they're always ready to shoot, their hands are in nice and tight. Next attack, what if our opponent beats us to the inside tie? We can still shoot our high crotch. So, Gavin has beaten Brody to his inside tie. Let's have him circle to our direction here. Gavin's got good inside tie, Brody does not. Brody is going to take his trail hand and he's going to pull down on the elbow. As he pulls down on the elbow, notice how it brings Gavin forward. It puts weight on Gavin's front foot. As soon as Brody does that, he's also changing his level. Then he's going to post on that elbow and shoot his high crotch. Okay, nothing different from shooting the high crotch standpoint, just a different way to get into it. Okay, Gavin's got good inside tie. Brody can fight for inside tie if he wants to. We're just going to show how to get an attack off of our opponent's inside tie. Again, hand is going to pull down hard on the elbow. He changes his level at the same time. Then he's going to post that hand and take his shot. Notice, it is not pushing the hand up, okay? Brody is not pulling and then pushing the arm all the way off him. He's just posting it so Gavin's hand cannot block. And there's his shot. That's a great shot of that. Let's do a couple more. Gavin wins the hand fight. He gets inside tie. Brody's going to pull down, post, and shoot. Okay? Gavin thinks he's in control with an inside tie. Brody's the one scoring the takedown. Okay? He's changing levels as he's pulling down. He posts as he penetrates. All right. Let's have Gavin hit a couple there. Brody gets inside tie. Gavin's going to pull down and shoot. Again, everybody's going to be a little different. How much of a post you need is really going to depend on your opponent. But your idea is pull hard, level change, and shoot. We're posting on that elbow to make sure the opponent cannot, down block cannot stop our shot. Next attack we're going to work on is our sweep single. So again, the guys, just out of habit, they're checking their height before they do anything. They stalk their opponent, and they get an inside tie. Gavin's going to get his inside tie. He's either going to post with his right hand, or he's going to go ahead and attack a wrist with his right hand. Again, thumb down with the right hand. We're setting our sweep single. Brody's back leg, or his left leg, is back. We need to find a way to get that leg forward to attack it. We can do that by pulling on the wrist. We can do that by pounding on the head. So if we're pounding on the head. Either way, we're getting Brody to move his feet. That's the whole part of our steering wheel drill. We're moving our opponent. As Gavin does that, he's also setting his shot. He's changing levels, and his feet are ready to take his sweep single shot, okay? You have to make sure you're doing two things at once. You are changing your level as you're moving your opponent. You're setting your feet to take your shot, okay? If you don't, let's show Gavin kind of doing it in two pieces. He goes ahead and pulls his opponent, then he changes levels. That's time for the opponent to stop his attack. Whether that be down blocking with the head, down blocking with the hand, or even just moving his feet. So you got to do two things at once. As you pull your opponent, you're changing your level and hitting that sweep single motion. Let's have Brody hit a few as well. Checks his height, fights for an inside tie, gets some pressure into your opponent. Pound the head. Get Gavin to step his foot forward. Once he steps that foot forward, we're hitting our shot. We can do it out of an elbow pull. We can do it out of a wrist pull. We can do it out of a head pound. All of these are good. Notice Brody's head position as he's shooting this shot. Okay, his head's in the pocket. Okay, he's not sitting there with bad head position trying to shoot this shot. Let's have the guys just trade a couple of sweep singles back and forth, and they're going to get it all the way up to a good place to finish. And they're going to pause once they get it up there. Brody has a sweep single and a single leg finish right where we want. We want the leg in front. We want Gavin's shoelaces in Brody's armpit. As Brody starts to circle towards me, you notice that he's got his attack hand high and deep. He's got both hands fighting for that leg. Okay, his attack hand is wrapped all the way around, as tight up to his chest as he can get. And his right hand now is the hand that he can work with. Okay, we can work a trip, we can work a knee break, we can work a bust, we can chop. We have lots of options, but that hand is up nice and tight. There's no room for Gavin to move his foot. If Brody is lazy with it and his elbow is low, Gavin can start to move and kick. He can hand fight, and he can get out of that tie. Okay? Let's have the guys shoot a couple of shots. They're going to put that single leg finish up front in a good position. Gavin's going to circle and move so we can see where he's at. Again, Brody's laces up in his armpit. Tight, he can move his opponent wherever he wants. Okay. All right, moving on to our single leg finishes. Our first one we call a back trip. Brody's going to shoot his sweep single. He's going to get that foot up high in the armpit. With his right hand is going to try and attack the back of Gavin's neck, and he is going to trip him where he does not have a post. Okay. Back up, shoot that shot again. Good sweep single, drive him up. Okay, he's still moving his opponent. As he's moving his opponent, he's going to trip him. Okay, he's not trying to sweep the leg, he's not trying to pull the leg. He's sticking his foot out so that Gavin cannot hop anymore. Two more. He attacks the back of the neck, pulls the back of the neck, and also trips so Gavin is falling to his butt, and then secures his takedown. Okay, Gavin is going to show a single leg finish. He's going to do what we call bust the knee. We're not actually going to break the knee, but we're going to show a motion where we're going to push down on the knee. He's up on his single and circle over this way, right there. Gavin's going to take his right forearm and he's going to push not straight down on the knee. He's going to push to the side of the knee and push the knee forward. As he pushes the knee forward, it turns Brody's hip and it makes Brody's motion go forward. Brody's hands hit the mat, and notice that Gavin is circling backwards until he is able to attack the other leg that's keeping Brody up. Okay, so we shoot our sweep single. We're up into a good finishing position. Again, we're not cracking straight down on the knee. We're turning it forward and we're circling. As we circle back, now we're going to let go of the knee and attack. Gavin's going to hit two more. Notice how he keeps that single leg up high in the armpit the whole time. He doesn't let it up. He doesn't let it become loose. As he busts the knee, circle, 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 then attacks. Worst case, he's still got that single if Brody is really agile and really able to move on him. Third finish to our single, in front, best position to finish our single. Brody's going to go ahead and shoot our same sweep single, nothing changes. He drives up to his feet. He's now going to uppercut the knee. He is going to pop the knee from the bottom, and it's going to take as much weight off of Gavin's feet as possible. And at the same time, he's going to use his outside leg, or his right leg, because we shot to the right side, to kick out Gavin's leg that he's standing on. So we're going to go ahead and pull that sweep single. We're going to drive up to our feet. We are going to uppercut the knee, and we're going to hit a trip. Okay? Let's have each guy show that one time each. Shoot the sweep. Right hand is uppercutting, right foot is tripping out. Gavin's turn. Shoots our sweep single. Drives up. Uppercuts and trips. All right. Last bit of technique for today. Brody has beaten Gavin to the punch. Brody's got inside tie. Gavin is going to attack on both elbows. Okay, as we circle towards the camera, you notice that Gavin is attacking both elbows. He can pull and move his opponent just as if he had an inside tie. Gavin's going to go ahead and shoot his sweep single off of an elbow pull is what we call it. Same motion. We have all of our finishes. We have back trip. We have bust the knee. Okay, there's back trip. There's bust knee. We have punch the knee and trip. All of the motions there, all the ways to finish our single. We're just getting it off of double elbow tie. Okay? Attacking the elbows, pulling the elbows, moving our opponent to set our shot. We're into our sweep single and finish.